Malachi Flynn, the Toronto Raptors first-round pick in the 2020 NBA draft, was expected to play a large role coming off the bench for the Toronto Raptors this season. Instead, he went from averaging almost 20 minutes a game last year to practically being benched to start off this season. There are many different theories out there trying to explain why he isn't playing any minutes, and in this video, I will be going over exactly why Malachi Flynn lost his roster spot. Starting off this video, I just wanted to go over what Malachi did last season, as well as the preseason and summer league that made Raptors fans believe that he would be playing at least a little bit on this team. I myself was a part of this belief as well, as I actually mentioned him being a part of the Toronto Raptors young core in a previous video, albeit I did have him as the least significant of the core since we didn't know his true potential yet. Nonetheless, he still deserved to be mentioned in that conversation of being a part of the Raptors' future. Now, that topic may be in question after the start of the 2021 NBA season. I also just wanted to mention that if you haven't already and you do enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video, and if you want to see more weekly Raptors content and NBA analysis like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel to ensure you don't miss another video. Only around 7% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if you could please consider it, it would mean a lot to me. During his rookie season, Malachi Flynn didn't have the greatest season under any circumstances, but he also didn't have a terrible one either, and honestly, considering he was the 29th pick in the NBA draft, his expectations on the year were extremely low, and you can definitely say he met those expectations, to say the least. There is nothing eye-popping when you look at the numbers he averaged throughout the last season, but this is in large part because he really started to take off during his rookie season in the last 2 months of last year. In April and May of the season, he was able to average 12.5 points per game on 40% shooting from the field, and he even played so well he won the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month award in April of last year. His increased role on the team was large part due to the injuries the Raptors were facing at the time. However, he made the most of his opportunity and shined bright when his number was called, that led him to acquire plenty of hype heading into the offseason. Malachi Flynn continued exactly where he left off the season last year as he entered the NBA Summer League with all of the confidence in the world and was set to dominate the Summer League competition. And he did exactly that as he took the Summer League by storm, as it seemed he was able to solidify a strong role on the regular season roster by the way he was playing, and he honestly looked like a much improved player that had plenty of confidence that could have done some damage this year. During his preseason campaign, however, is where we began to see some problems arise for the young Raptors guard, as this was the point where his role became incredibly inconsistent. He showed some flashes in his game, but he also showed that there is still much to improve as a prospect. I think what hurt Malachi Flynn the most during the preseason was the fact that he often looked like he had zero confidence on the court, whether that was during real-time minutes or in garbage time. This was definitely due to his very inconsistent role on the team during the games, and maybe he expected to be playing much more, but also because he simply just didn't feel like he fit on this team, considering all of the offseason movements of guys with plenty of size and length. The only thing that made things a little unclear is that I don't believe he played that horribly, that his role was taken from him out of thin air, as he did finish off the preseason against the Wizards with a game high for the Raptors with 22 points in just 26 minutes. This, however, did not matter in the eyes of Nick Nurse, as like I mentioned before, Malachi had his role ripped away from him right in front of his eyes. Coming into the season, it was an absolute shock to come to find out that Malachi had practically been benched thus far into the season, as if you exclude the game against the Knicks last night, where the Raptors were missing Scotty Barnes, he only had played a total of 6 minutes through 7 games. A large part of the reason that he hadn't been playing so far, stated by Nick Nurse himself in a press conference, has been because of the emergence of Dalano Banton, and rightfully that backup point guard role deserves to be Dalano's, as he has earned every minute of playing time he has received. As it does make sense that Dalano now holds the spot as the backup guard, it's still pretty crazy to me that Malachi wasn't even given the opportunity to try to even make his mark and fight for the role, considering the Raptors started the season 1-3. Don't get me wrong, in no way do I believe that Banton doesn't deserve to be the backup point guard, as I just recently made a video on him, but the fact that he only had 6 minutes in 7 games to start the season is just a little bit crazy to me. Another reason as to why Nurse had made the decision to not play Malachi to start the season was stated that the addition of Goran Dragic created a crowded backcourt that the Raptors had to deal with. To start the season, with that being said, Goran Dragic is a veteran player in this league, and Nick Nurse felt more comfortable playing him over Malachi from what he saw this preseason. However, Dragic has had a pretty horrendous start to this season and is pretty quickly losing his role, as he already went from starting on this team to a role player that is slowly losing more and more minutes due to his play. If this continues, we should most definitely see Malachi finally get the opportunity to play this season and have at least the attempt to fight for a role on this team that I believe he deserves, even if that role is being a third string guard. Personally, I believe the Raptors should still be looking to see what Malachi has to offer us before giving up on him so quickly, like I feel like the Raptors slowly have done. It is still very early into the season, and Nick Nurse has also mentioned that Flynn's time will come if he keeps working hard, so hopefully Nurse stands by his word, and when Malachi gets his opportunity, he makes the most of it. It is unclear if there is anything else affecting the choice of not giving Malachi any minutes so far into the season, but there is a conspiracy that I just wanted to ask you guys, that maybe it's because the Raptors simply just don't see a future with Malachi Flynn on this roster. There were multiple reports that the Raptors were heavily interested in Precious Achiuwa during the 2020 NBA draft. This is just referring to maybe Malachi wasn't the team's first option for their first round pick. But also, the way this team has been upgraded this past offseason and the type of players that Masai Ujiri had been searching for all offseason, that Malachi simply just doesn't fit what the Raptors have in mind for their future, especially since they already have a shorter franchise guard in Fred VanVleet. The Raptors have built this team around size, athleticism, and length, and this is something that Malachi just doesn't fit all of the criteria for. Nonetheless, that's just one of my speculations, and I want to hear from you guys what you think about this take down below in the comments, as I don't necessarily think it's true, it's just something that I thought about. I truly think Malachi Flynn deserves to play this season, and once again I'll say it, even if that means he were to be the third string guard on this team, as I feel like he's earned that spot as a young prospect. But the fact that he has literally been benched is a little bit odd for me to see, especially because of the flashes he showed during the end of last year. Those are just my thoughts, and I want you guys to let me know what yours are down below in the comments, and if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the Raptors analysis I will be posting multiple times per week. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video, but most importantly, I hope you all have a good night.